Fist in his house, bringing another great edition, Counter-Strike Global Offensive on Xbox Live from me to you, because that's what I do. Part 2 of 3. If you missed yesterday's episode, I'll try to leave a link in the description or in the video so you can go back and look at it. But this is part 2 of 3 of a whole game that we actually played. And we got into a discussion yesterday. The discussion was that, you know, a lot of people were saying, you know, how much this game looks, or the inspiration came from Call of Duty 4. It's the inspiration of this game. If you really look at it, and you go back and you look at this this game, I look at Weston Zampella, the creators of the Call of Duty franchise, and then they had to come up with a modern combat game, Call of Duty 4. It was like there was Call of Duty 2, the Call of Duty 3, and then there was this big, huge Call of Duty 4 change. Like, where was it? Where did the inspiration come from? You look at the mini map in the left-hand corner, which is a circle. You know, you could tell, like Battlefield Modern Combat. It had the same little circle, but it was on the right-hand side. You could tell that you know, they don't have the cocktail in Call of Duty 4, which would have been cool. Incendiaries would have been the shit. And I like the fact that both teams have their own weapons, but they didn't do that in Call of Duty. Like, you could see their interpretation of the game and the inspiration. Like, all the same colors. I don't know the name of the maps, but you could tell, like, the map setups, like Dust, are exactly like 3/4 of the maps in Call of Duty 4. The same type of color layout. The AK, the way the AK is held. You know, they just changed a lot of things. So anyways, I was having a discussion, you know, with a couple of guys. I was asking Moho about it. I was like, yo, man, doesn't it, because he plays. Fear Moho is a professional Call of Duty player, and one of the guys that I like watching. And he was saying that that's all he used to play. He used to be like godly at this game. So anyways, I've just rolled out of bed this morning, and he was playing Counter-Strike, you know, CSGO competitive, classic competitive. Like, yo, man, if you got somebody on your team and you don't want them, you know, send me an invite. So I got an invite to that game, and I was like, yo, doesn't this game remind you or look like, you know, Call of Duty? And he was like, yeah, you know, that's what I always thought in the beginning. And you get, like, the knife, the whole thing. So everything, you know, what I want to say is that I thought that Weston Zampella came up with this whole creation themselves. I was like, man, these guys came up with Call of Duty 4, and I was like, this is amazing. And then I look at I really didn't play Counter-Strike, so I didn't know. I didn't have no mindset, because I was playing the Battlefield series. So I was thinking, you know, Battlefield, and then Battlefield Modern Combat, and then I switched over to Call of Duty 4. Well, actually, Call of Duty 3. I didn't play too much of Call of Duty 2, because I was playing Modern Combat 2. Yeah, I thought it looked corny. You know, when I saw it at Best Buy and it was like Call of Duty 2 comes with Xbox 360, I did play it in the beginning, but it just looked like I was playing a Dreamcast game. It just looked shitty. So I was like, I'm gonna play Battlefield Modern Combat. So anyways, going back to the story, I'm saying to myself, you know, now that I'm looking at it, it's like, this is where they got the inspiration from. I thought Weston Zampella came up with the game themselves. And, you know, I don't want to take nothing away from them, because if you take somebody's idea, Firestone, Goodyear, iFly, or whatever, Raw Instinct, T. Martin, whoever takes somebody else's idea and improves on it by, you know, they improve on the idea and they do a better job, then they did a great job. That's it. And that's what I don't. It's just there's so many double standards on YouTube. Like, people don't even realize it. Do you realize that they copied the best parts of this game and made Call of Duty? Do you realize that, you know, Firestone copied Goodyear, or Goodyear copied whoever? Everybody copies everybody and they improve on it. And if they could do a better job, then so be it. The way I look at it is that I would take Call of Duty 4. I mean, you have so many great examples to look at and go, wow, I can improve on this and make it 10 times better. And what baffles me is that Call of Duty 4 has been out for like 9 generations and nobody has said, oh, we're gonna do it like this. I mean, we're gonna make it. I mean, if you look at the Counter-Strike, it looks like it runs 60 frames per second. You know, you look at it, it wasn't until like Modern Warfare 2 that you started to see like paper and smoke and debris and stuff of that nature start flying around. They added those things on once they got better with understanding the 60 frames per second. But you can see, I mean, this runs, Counter-Strike Global Offensive runs just or as better. I mean, it looks like it runs way better, way smoother than Battlefield 3. I mean, just the graphics and the responsiveness to the controllers. And obviously there's no vehicles and the maps are not as big, and you know, they don't have to shrink down for you know, distance, you know, that, you know, space and the space ratios. But you can understand what I'm talking about. So the point being is, you know, I got to play with Fear Moho this morning and a bunch of those guys that, you know, that they always play with professionally. You know, I did pretty good. You know, I came second to last place. You know, I mean, then we only played 2 games. In the first game, I joined late. I went 7-3, and we came back 9 games and beat the other team. And then the next game, and I think I got like 3 or 4 MVPs too. So the thing about it is that, you know, there's a lot of great players out there. You know, the thing is that what I want people to realize is that if you have the time, if everybody didn't have a job, and, you know, I'm sure they wouldn't be playing video games. If everybody was like just free and there was no such thing as money and all that shit, and, you know, we lived in a utopia, we wouldn't, you know, nobody would play video games. But the point being is, the point I'm trying to make is that if you have the time to play the game, and you get and you can scrim and play with people of high caliber, there's, you know, it's not the fact that, you know, you're not lacking the ability of being, you know, on their level. You just have to practice. Whereas in sports, if you're not 6'5", you're not playing tight end. You understand the difference? That's what I'm saying. And I'm not taking nothing away from those guys whatsoever. You know, those guys practice their asses off, and they know. I mean, that, you know, it takes a lot of eye-hand coordination, precision, and you know, of that nature. So I enjoyed playing with those guys. Those guys played at a very high level. You can always count on everybody going positive and carrying their own and doing call-outs. It makes the game so much easier, and you know, when you win, it's a fun experience. So if you ever get a chance, I know Fear Moho, I would like to do the same, but, you know, a lot of you guys don't like playing these games and whatnot. So, but the reason why I don't game with too many people or streams is because, for one, my streaming capabilities, I don't have the super high internet connection. Secondly, when you get everybody in your room and then somebody drops and you have to go pick them up, and then you get frustrated and it just turns into a big clusterfuck. So that's probably why I don't game with subs. When I do, I do. Like sometimes, like, you know, I did earlier this year. We did like I do when I stream with I streamed with the subs. I streamed them all the way out. Like there was no subs left. I was the last one to leave the ship. I was like, it was the captain was the last one to leave. So when I do, it's a marathon. Be ready to do 9 hours with me on a stream. Boom, we're gonna do it. So I mean, that's the type of addictive personality that I have. If I do something, I do it right to the close edge of death. So that's a problem that I have, but I try to control it. Overall, like I said, I mean, I have a great experience with this game. This game is amazing. for 1,200 Microsoft points, if you are a true first-person shooter fan on the console, then you need to buy this game. I mean, there's constant games, especially at night. I mean, these are some really good players at night because, you know, they're smoking some weed, they get fucked up, and they're ready to go. And then you got these, like, French and pro teams, and you become, it's like, man, it's so exciting. You just get into it, like. So anyways, this was a gameplay that, you know, it was pretty good. And like I said, I'm going to talk about some of the game. I'll probably talk mostly about the game in the last video. But I just want to talk about my experiences and how I enjoy this game and how much fun it is. And I really appreciate this game. It's simple. Simple is great. That's why I say when this game, when you got so many people buying this game and it's a 10-year-old game remake, HD remix, I mean, that's, you know, that's awesome. I mean, they could do the same thing with Call of Duty 4 and people would buy it. So that's just, you know, how I feel about it. And, you know, if you guys are looking for some fun, and it's not because, oh, I'm bored with Call of Duty 3, because I'm actually going to do a video next with the CM901. But I just want to let you guys know this, you know, I mean, don't let people, just because they say, oh, I'm not playing it, and it's not trendy, so I'm not going to do it. Dude, be you, play the games that you want to play, and that's it, you know. I mean, honestly, I only like a couple games. I'm thinking about, like, posting golf game. Somebody said yesterday, say, Fist, why don't you do some golf? I might do some online Tiger Woods golf or whatever. I don't know. You know, that's how I feel about it. That's what I love. It's my passion. Whatever my gut and tenacity is feeling, that's what I'm going to play. I like to get down. Look at that bullshit headshot. Come on, son. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this gameplay. The next game, I'll talk strictly about Counter-Strike. Please leave all your questions in the comments about the game in episode 3 so we can talk about everything in the game and I can tell you everything that I know and how I feel about it and who I play with. Good spot. I had to remember that for next time. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this gameplay. Until next time, it's your boy Fist. Peace. I'm out.